welcome to Tank Talks by Beehive. My name is Radhika Mahata. I'm your host for today.
Give a huge round of applause for the last session of the evening, guys.
Thank you for being here. Thanks for your time. And what has the journey been like in terms of where did you grow up? What made you take those decisions to not get into acting, not get into, filmmaking, not do bungee jumping, skydiving full time, but do what you do, which is a lot of adrenaline rush, I'm sure, as entrepreneurs. And what has the journey been up until now?
Thank you, Radhika, for I think having us here. Both Muskan's and mine journey has been very, very similar post college, where we met in 2017. So I think maybe we'll take turns speaking about our life before individually, and then one of us can tell more about the future life. So I was born and brought up in Calcutta, typical Marwadi family. Father runs a business, mother is a housewife. So I think till I was a very, very notorious kid, but used to score fairly good amount of marks. So I think all's well until you are scoring well in your report card. Uh, so I think around class 10th, 11th, 12th became very studious because saw my brother going to a college which he didn't like, and saw one or two of my relatives going to SRCC in Delhi. So realized that that's one of the best college, and realized that I wanted to go there or not study and join my father's business. So luckily in class 12th, received good marks, went to SRCC, and then I think life changed drastically. Maybe I think Muskan will tell her journey, and then we'll continue from SRCC.
Okay, good strategic move of sharing our background. So I'm born and brought up in Bangalore actually. Also from a Marwadi family, ancestrally we're from Rajasthan. So we've also family's been into business for a couple of generations. So grew up being very inspired by my dad, and I think one of those kids where when you ask kids कि आपको बड़े होके क्या बनना है, and you say doctor, engineer. I always used to say I want to be the CEO of a really large company someday. So I think this was yeah, but I feel like life took a lot of turns for it to happen so early in my life. I never really expected that it would happen right after college. The plan was always to work for a few years, get experience, and then do it. But yeah, I mean, COVID happened, life happened. But anyway, until college, very similar. So SRCC was also a dream college for me. Ended up getting into SRCC. Went there for went there in 2017. That's where Raghav and I met each other. Interestingly, both of us met each other through an entrepreneurship club, a society in our college, where we worked with a team of about 50 people on building two social business models. So one was in the water and sanitation space, one was in the handicraft space. We've worked together for the 3 years of our college life building businesses, and that was also when we learned that we work really well together, have a lot of complementary skill sets, enjoy building together. He's very good at something, I'm very good at something else, and that it fits the puzzle well together. And both of us also in our spare time really enjoyed just brainstorming, talking about a lot of different business models. So I think both of us had that fire somewhere ki kuch karna hai. But because looking at our seniors, we decided to get into campus placements. Both of us were actually placed into consulting companies from college. Like I said, life was supposed to go into a very, very different direction for us. But just before, 3 months before we graduated, so we were the 2020 batch, we were the COVID batch essentially. Just 3 months before we graduated, COVID happened, and we were homebound, jobs were deferred. There was a scene of aage kya karna hai. We didn't know anything for that matter. So us time pe bhi I remember, because both of us were free, we decided to use our free time to to sell. So us time pe there was a lot of these one-time use kind of products being built. So salons that time had this demand for one-time use aprons. So we kind of started trading that in our free time. So did that for a while, for a month or two, but didn't really, I mean, it kind of died down on its own. Then mid-COVID, this was around May 2020, my family, like I said, is ancestrally from Rajasthan, and there are a lot of things that we consume or eat at home, which is very, very local or very. So my neighbor who is a Kannadiga versus if you come to my kitchen, our kitchens look completely different. The kind of meals we eat on a daily basis look completely different. And this is right down to the kind of staples that we use, the kind of spices that go into even the simple sabzis that we make at home. And this was that time when this realization kind of hit us that a lot of Rajasthani products that we are very used to purchasing at home are not very easily available to us. Earlier, the way that we used to access these products was, you know, a relative is coming down from Rajasthan or कोई train से इधर उधर जा रहा है तो coordinate करके, you know, चीजें मंगवाते थे. But in COVID, because travel was impacted, obviously that was not possible. And my entire family at that time was like, it was such a panic wala situation just because we're not getting that food. So I think that was the first time like that need or that realization hit that local food is so important to people. And I was just discussing this with Raghav on the phone. He was back in Calcutta, I was in Bangalore. And he could also relate. So for us, yeah, I mean, free hai, job pata nahi kahan hai, kya chal raha hai. So we started researching into this problem, started talking to, I live in a township, so I surrounded by people of a lot of different cultures. So I started talking to people from different cultures and realized that this is not only a Rajasthani / Marwadi problem, but India is a very, very culturally diverse country. Every few 100 kilometers, you see, you know, cultures changing and evolving. And everybody has this special connection with their hometowns, essentially. So yeah, I think that was a problem that we started getting excited about, started researching into it. And yeah, we decided to jump into it. We were like, dekha jayega, kya hoga? 3 months later, we had our 3-4 months later, we had our joining dates. And yeah, I just never ended up joining, got into the entrepreneurship journey, and no regrets. It's been a good journey.
How about both of you tell me one thing each that you like about your co-founder and one thing that irritates you about your co-founder?
I think, as Muskan mentioned, that working together in college helped us a lot because for 3 years in college, we worked together almost 3 to 4 hours every day. So I think at that point of time, like a lot of conflicts or what person likes what person is good in what, we could really see in each other and then figure out that, okay, maybe I think like a lot of people, like when we speak today with other people who maybe are looking to start up and they're looking, let's say, for a co-founder, it becomes very difficult if you have not had like a shared journey before. Let's say if you have not had an employment together or like maybe you're not school friends, then it becomes difficult later on. So I think I would say maybe it's a blessing that we were together in college and also worked in the same club there. I think about I think one thing that you like and dislike. One thing that I like about her is that she is really, really good in terms of thinking through things. Like I'm a very, very like just do it person ki yaar aaj kya karna hai, kal kya karna hai. I can't see what I'm doing next week, but she's a person who can plan it for the next, let's say, 6 months. What are we going to do 1 year, 2 years, which really, really helps when you want to build a very, very large business. Maybe speak to investors, speak to employees, show them a vision. So I think that's a really, really good thing that I like.
She has a far-sighted vision powered by Lenskart, not sponsored the segment. Okay.
Yeah. So that's there. I think one thing that I get irritated about, I don't know if I dislike or not, but like the opposite side of her thinking long term is she thinks a lot. So every other day she has a new idea. Every other day she'll talk to me for like 1 hour ki अरे ये करना है, and I'm like भाई जो पहले का काम है वो तो कर लो यार. So I think it becomes sometimes that, but ठीक है, I think good and bad both.
Okay, interesting. Muskan?
Like he's one of those people that you want something done, you tell him he'll get it done. Like So actually, one random incident comes to mind that I want to share. We were in DMart buying a few things, a lot of things actually, and we didn't know that DMart, I think, doesn't have covers that they give. Yeah, they charge something like this. Don't have like large enough covers. So when we were at checkout, this guy was like, "यार हमारे पास covers नहीं है," and we didn't have a way to carry. So we were like, क्या करें? और they were charging a lot. ऐसे कुछ तो था, I don't remember. And I am standing there like, अब क्या करें? How will we take the सामान? He's just like, रुक जा 1 minute. And so first he spoke to the billing guy and he's like, यार आपका आसपास कुछ तो होगा, आप दे दो. He's like, कुछ नहीं, आप figure out कर लो, आपको pay करना पड़ेगा ये वो. He's like, okay, wait 1 minute. He goes, 60 seconds later, he's coming back with like plain, you know, a lot of plastic covers and bags and panche cheese kahin se. And I was like, dude, matlab, and even the billing guys are like very perplexed and they're watching ki kahan se le aaya. So then I asked him kahan se leke aaye, and he was like, ki, you know, while we were shopping, there was this section and I heard this guy saying कि ये हमारा warehouse section है. सो मेरे को याद है कि वेयर हाउस में तो मतलब पड़ा रहेगा, लॉट ऑफ प्लास्टिक कवर्स एंड स्टफ पड़ा रहेगा, तो मैं फटाफट से उधर घुस गया, उधर से उठा के ले आया. सो आई मीन आई डोंट नो व्हाई आई स्पेसिफिकली थॉट ऑफ दिस, बट ही इज़ वन ऑफ दोज गाइज हु इज़ वेरी रिसोर्सफुल. लाइक कभी भी कुछ भी करना है, दिस अ वेरी स्मॉल थिंग, बट इन बिजनेस he'll just get it done. Like you need a warehouse, you need
Jugaad powered by Bada Bazaar, Calcutta only.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
And what I don't like about him.
Yeah, please.
What I don't like about him.
You need an additional mic to amplify your voice.
I think I had an answer very, very quickly, so we are definitely going to have a fight.
There's no coffee with Karan hamper here.
No, actually, it's similar to what he said.
No,
and
we don't do copy paste.
No, but we're very opposite in that sense. Like he said, he's one of those people who doesn't think about the future. So sometimes it's very irritating for me, because for me, like I need to know that if I'm doing X, what's the point? Like what is it leading to? And for the long run, how is this helping the business? But a lot of times I feel like he picks up things just as they come without having logic behind it. So I feel like a lot of times wahan pe we have disagreements. But yeah, weirdly enough, I'm not able to think about anything else. So yeah.
Okay. Can we have a round of applause for that? Yeah? It takes a lot of courage to know that you're going to work with the same person an hour later. This moderator will go away. and you're still speaking. Okay.
No, I think one of the most, I mean, just adding a point there, I think with your co-founder, one of the most important things, like if I may give that gyan, is to have no filters. Like if there is one person you should have no filters with, it's probably your co-founder, because it's the only person that who's actually going through the exact same journey as you, that not anybody else on the outside will probably understand. So if your co-founder also becomes somebody jiske saath filters and you're not able to share, then I mean life becomes a problem. So I think the best thing about us is like कोई भी problem है उसी time बोल दिया, उसी time झगड़ा, उसी time खत्म, उसी time back to being best friends forever.
So filters are best reserved for Snapchat and Instagram, but not in daily conversations. Okay, help me understand. Shark Tank happened. Your brand was up there on national television for everybody to believe in you a little more, to place their faith in you, to place a few more orders. I'm sure if you can disclose numbers, you would love to hear that. How did that impact your brand journey, your numbers? We'd love to have some light on that.
I think, of course, Shark Tank, I think as everybody has mentioned, it's like just a crazy place to be at. And in India, I think it's just that I think really important that people believe a lot in TV advertisement कि ये brand TV में आया हुआ है, तो it should be like a good brand. So I'm sure कि वो बहुत help करता है to all of the brands that are out there. For us, I think numbers wise, it was like almost 4x for the next 2 to 3 months. And I think eventually it comes back to normal, and it depends a lot on how you leverage it. We were just talking to Ganesh and we told that I think the real inspiration of somebody using Shark Tank and leveraging it to their best was, I think, Ganesh, which we realized in the second season. I think maybe because we were in the first season, we didn't know a lot about how things will happen, what have people done otherwise, what can we do otherwise. And I think when you are in that everyday hustle of building your business, you don't even think a lot about, okay, we can do this much to leverage it better. But I think overall, it was a very, very good boost. One thing that happened really good for us, so we are a marketplace wherein we work with a lot of traditional brands from different states of India. So you could think about a snacks brand, a sweet brand, spice brand, maybe in West Bengal, Gujarat, Maharashtra. And not everybody we have not met everyone. So I think that trust factor was not there. But after coming on Shark Tank, a lot of these brands who were, let's say, giving lesser margins to us or lesser credit period to us, maybe not willing to work because of their just relax कि यार मेरे को नहीं करना, मेरा business सही चल रहा है. I think they सामने से came and they were like, यार, we want to work with you. How can we list on your platform? And I think the table just turned within that night. कि यार, next day we just had a lot of brands wanting to list on our website, lot of brand manufacturers that wanted to work with us. So I think that way it helped us a lot.
And I think mathematically also Shark Tank is a no-brainer for a D2C brand because we had just raised a pre-seed round a month before, a few weeks before we got to know that we are going to be on Shark Tank. And for a split second, we actually thought ki, we've just raised and we don't need capital for a while, so does this make sense? But then I think why it makes so much sense. So Sony TV pe I think 1 minute is about 1 crore. So if you get 14 minutes of prime time visibility for your brand, mathematically it's 14 crores, which is like $2 million worth of marketing for free. So anybody who asks me ki karna chahiye, nahi karna chahiye, I'm like, bhai, it's a no-brainer. Matlab, the kind of brand awareness it builds, like brands work so hard to cross that, first funnel awareness wala stage and फिर धीरे-धीरे finally getting to purchase decision for consumer. On Shark Tank, you've already solved that. Like today, we go to an event, there are, that top funnel is solved, which is such a big deal when you think about it. Like 4 or 5 people already know about you. तुम जाते हो, तुम्हें बताने का ज़रूरत नहीं है तुम्हारा brand क्या है, सामने से लोग बता रहे हैं तुम्हारा brand क्या है. And that's magical. Like, how else do you get that?
It's amazing to have so many brand ambassadors running around for you.
Yeah.
How many of you have ordered from the State Plate? No, not yet. Potential customers.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Can you please give a shout out to your socials, to how can people discover you, your website, and how can this bunch of people possibly help you? Are you hiring anything that the community may help you with?
Yeah, so the website is thestateplate.com. Our Instagram, we're active. It's called The State Plate Official. You could follow us there. Personally, both of us are pretty active on LinkedIn as well. Muskan, Sancheti, Raghav Jawar. So, pretty active and available there. We are hiring for a few positions within marketing, content, design. So, if somebody wants to work with us, we'd be happy to have a chat.
And I think one way that we can help you is, of course, to get the best food that you'll ever have from our website. So do go on and order. And I'm sure you'll also find a lot of nostalgic products. Maybe you have been eating that in your childhood, but now you don't get it because you've moved cities. But yeah, I think that's the way we can help you for sure.
So Q&A. How did the response on Shark Tank India affect your brand awareness and customer acquisition? I think you've broadly answered, but if you just...
No, I think what Muskan answered, I think was true.
For a D2C brand, which type of branding plays important role? Personal branding of founders or branding of entire company or product?
I think both, but you've started seeing lately people focus a lot on, founders focus a lot on personal branding. Ganesh is a good example right here again. But I think it helps. I mean, it's something that I've also started doing in a very small way, but I've seen it already a huge impact. I mean, for example, earlier in the first year of State Plate, one of the largest challenges we had was hiring and getting good talent. Once I started being more vocal on LinkedIn, recently, actually last week, I put out a hiring post and we were flooded with applicants. Like our team was not able to control the number of applicants we had, and fantastic people wanting to work with you. So I think having a personal brand really helps your brand. Hiring is one thing, getting access to good investors is one thing. Generally being out there, I think having a connection with customers is one thing, because as a D2C brand, customers are buying your product, and if they have a face associated with it, I think it again makes the purchase decision maybe that much more easier. So that's interesting. Like it's a new one. I feel like people have started jumping on that bandwagon a lot. But overall marketing of the company is a no-brainer. Like wo to karna hi hai, and I feel on that side also, nowadays, because performance marketing is getting very competitive, it's also, people are also trying to look for more creative ways to stand out and market their brand using content, using founders' face, etc. So I think, yeah, I mean, helps bring down the costs and increase your overall ROAS on a brand level.
Next up, building a strong team is crucial. And how did you go about building your initial team?
So I think for us, because we had never worked before with anyone right out of college, we started working. So definitely I think there was a challenge in hiring people in the start. But the first 2 or 3 hires were more like from our very, very close circle, like direct junior, direct, let's say a relative of ours, because I think at the start, you don't want a lot of management to be there, and you want people who are owners in your teams, because if they can manage their function really well, like literally as a founder, then you don't, like you have much more time to build the business. So I think for the first year, that was the truth. But then I think when you eventually start to build out your team beyond the first 4, 5 people, I think 10, 20s, 30s, then I think it really helps in, so for us, again, we had no experience on, let's say, how great managers are, how great leaders are, how to manage a team, because never worked anywhere, never seen, never run a team before. So I think what really helped was just being true to the team, building it with first principles mindset, that making sure people had the autonomy to do what they could do, giving them enough feedback and enough space to build on their own. So I think just first principles thinking was something that helped us a lot.
What made you let State Plate be acquired by Just My Roots, and what plans do you have now? Are you still involved with State Plate?
So yes, we are fairly involved right now. So for another, I think, minimum couple of years we are there, and we want to build this to a much larger scale. The reason why I think we got acquired was, as everybody knows, I think there was a even now I think there's a good funding winter that's going on. For a period of 6 months, there was a time when we couldn't grow beyond a point of, beyond a monthly number, and we really wanted to, because we are too young to, I think, get stagnated and not, let's say, build. We were not enjoying that phase. So honestly, we just wanted to grow. We wanted our brand to grow. We wanted ourselves to grow. So at that point of time, the best thing that we realized was to partner with a larger brand, with a larger company, which could maybe provide greater access to resources, where our brand could also grow, we could also grow, and maybe eventually make the company big. So I think it's not a matter of maybe funding or getting acquired. It's more of we wanted the company to grow. This was one of the paths that we chose that we could take, which was available at that point of time.
Right. So you decided in the best interest of your baby.
Yep.
Okay, amazing. Can we have a big round of applause for Raghav and Muskan?
Thank
you
you
so much.